Hello and welcome to Morning Meeting. I'm Courtney Hirsch. I'm here with Matty and we're going to talk about building Jomboy Media. It's my first time joining as CEO. That
How
feels
exciting.
good to say.
That is awesome. Yes, it's ironic because we filmed an episode when internally we knew that, but we just couldn't say that.
Oh yeah.
And then the very next week, Jimmy announced that on this show that was the case. So
I love
congrats.
it. Feels great.
Awesome. Otherwise, we're going to talk about Swilly joining Jomboy Media, Jimmy on the Simpsons, our VP of sales role, Warehouse Games B2B event. You did a board meeting last week, and we'll finish off on a light topic because you had a girls' weekend in Chicago.
I had a
Cool.
fun girls' weekend.
First and foremost, though, Substack.
Huge shout out to Joseph Angelo and JC Guzman. You think I said that right? Guzman. I'm worst at pronouncing names.
Let us know, JC.
Guzman?
I would guess Guzman.
I mean, Matty's definitely right. But thank you for being Substack subscribers. And we have a really fun announcement. The first paid Substack subscriber to send the word Mornin, Mornin, to Jomboy Media on Substack will win a $50 gift card to the Jomboy Media shop.
Yeah. You don't have to be Joseph or JC.
Nope. I don't know.
I mean, if one of them wins,
yeah.
so be it. But yeah, first paid Substack subscriber to head over to Substack, send a message to Jomboy Media. $50 to the shop is all yours. Should we just do it now?
Oh my God. I want the new Women Belong in Sports merch.
There's a lot of good merch. I need that $50. Cool. Well, we had mentioned it. It's your first time as CEO on this show. What has changed since the last time we talked to you? I mean, realistically, you were doing the job already, so maybe
changed?
not much.
What do you think has changed, Matty? Has anything really changed internally? I would say.
Well, I was about to say it's probably externally, if anything.
Yeah, for sure. Nothing has really changed internally. I've kind of been acting in this role for the past 2 years, but it feels really good to get the title. And I'm even surprised that I'm saying this because I spent most of my career in sales and I really did not care at all what my title was because I was so focused on closing deals, building partnerships, and really just making money. So if I closed the deal, hit my goal, made my commission, I was like, you can call me whatever the hell you want to call me. Right. But in this role, it has really meant a lot externally. I think I've wanted some opportunities, some like networking opportunities that I couldn't join unless I had the CEO or president's title. I spent a lot of time building relationships with my peers that are running other sports media companies. So it's nice to just have a title that actually reflects the role I've been doing. It means a lot.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I think that even just, you had your highest viewed LinkedIn post, right? And I feel like it all kind of just culminates into one. This is a CEO's post.
Right. I had to do a lot of explaining with the COO title because they would say, oh, who's the CEO? And then I'd be like, oh, we really don't have one. I mean, maybe technically it's Jimmy, but he's not going to talk to you about this stuff. Yeah. It's me. So this just takes all of the explaining away, which is nice.
Great. In other exciting news, it was a big day in the office yesterday. Cinco de Swilly, some would say.
I love that.
Swilly, Sarah Wilson, government name drop on the pod, but Swilly joined Jomboy Media, which feels like such a natural fit.
Oh my God, I know. I was like, you are the missing piece, Swilly. It's so cool that we have a full-time female creator in-house. We've been really wanting a female creator for a while, but I have to say, Swilly, besides the fact that she was a female, she was unanimously the number 1 pick. We had this little creator subcommittee helping us hire, and we had over 1,700 applicants, and hands down when we reviewed the applicants, everyone was like, Swilly, that's it, let's go, hire her now. So it was just really cool that the whole team felt so confident in the decision. And hiring creators is really our growth strategy, and it's a hard task, and the most important thing is that they fit the Jomboy Media voice and the vibe, and they get the brand. And Swilly crushed that. There were no questions about that, so it just naturally made sense to bring her on. And it's cool that she's moving cross country to come work here full time. That's awesome.
Yeah, her stuff officially got delivered today. There's a little delay there, so she's been like air mattress and just living out of a suitcase in her empty apartment. But yeah, like you said, just a natural fit, and it's very evident within the first 10 hours she's been in the office. Like, it's
I know.
She's here.
When she was like collaborating, walking around doing stuff, I was like, it feels like she's been here forever.
Yeah.
Like there's no awkwardness to it at all.
Not at all. So I'm really excited. Yeah. You'll probably find her a lot on socials at the jump, but she has a lot of YouTube ideas that she's been wanting to test out and try, and that's kind of her whole gig here is, she'll be able to fulfill some of the social needs that we have, but then it's like, hey, let's try and feel out what sticks on YouTube. So I do believe, don't quote me if this doesn't come true, she'll be on next week's Mornin episode with Jimmy.
Oh, cool.
And she'll release her first YouTube video since joining JM on that same day, so they'll go hand in hand together. That's so keep an eye out for that stuff.
I love that.
No big deal. Jimmy was on The Simpsons.
Jimmy was on The Simpsons.
That's
like, how
crazy.
iconic is that?
And drawn by the Simpsons like animator.
I know. I was really happy we worked that into the deal, that he was turned into a Simpsons character. I think that was an ask on our part, because we were like, no, we want like his face, our branding, and they were so happy to do that. So that was really cool. But for me, we've just heard kind of like rumors that like Jomboy's name gets thrown around in TV writing rooms. And we had no idea if that was true. We're not really tuned into like the Hollywood TV scene. So having The Simpsons reach out to us and ask if we wanted to be part of the episode, like that was, I don't know, I couldn't imagine that happening. And they're just like the most iconic television show to ever exist.
That's like, that's one of those that's not even a debate.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
There are some things that are not debates, and that's one of them.
It was cool when I posted about it. It got a really big community reaction, and even on like, it was fun to read all the comments on social media. But even when I posted on LinkedIn, more industry people, like it was one of my biggest posts. I was riding home on the train with Jimmy, and someone came up to him and he was like, The Simpsons, like, are you kidding? And I was like, oh, I love this. Or even getting like in-person shout outs. It was cool.
How often do you guys get stopped on a train?
Oh, every night. Like one person a night will like notice him. He's usually working on a breakdown while someone's stopping him. So they ask about that.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Does anybody say anything to you?
No, I am like talking Jimmy's ear off, and he's like half listening to me and probably just guessing me to death as he's editing. Yeah. But it's like a win-win, because I just need someone to talk to. Yeah. And he's just like, whatever.
There we go. Did you watch that Simpsons episode live? Recorded?
No, because we couldn't figure out how to get cable. So
I recorded it.
My mom recorded it for me and then sent it in the family group chat. Right. So I had it like the second afterwards. But my husband was sweating going through all of our logins to the million different subscription services to see if somehow we had the live version, but we failed.
That's hey, is what it is.
Yeah.
It's like one of those that we immediately got to collab with the Simpsons account the next day too, which everybody could see it then. And that's another, like that, I feel like that goes overlooked. Like the Simpsons has some massive Instagram account. We just collabed with that. No problem.
No big deal.
That was like when we collabed with the ICC, and their account is like 30 million.
Yeah. We're like, this is a fair trade.
All right. I was away last week, so this is part you filling me in on your thoughts as well. But last week we had a little hiccup in the road with the VP of sales role, and I'll let you guide the ship.
Yeah.
So I'll toss it back your way. But can you fill me
Sure.
and the people in?
Yeah. So unfortunately, we had to part ways with our VP of sales. So we have an open position. It's a really big role, very vital role to our company, because direct ad sales sponsorships is the majority of our business, and we've been crushing it with brand sponsors lately. So the good thing is that we are over our goal. We have a lot of momentum. We have an amazing sales team in place, but now we are looking for a new leader, which is exciting. So the role has been posted for a week, I think. And I'm really impressed with the applications that are coming through.
Yeah.
I did actually a little reel last night
Okay.
at 11 p.m. after yoga. I was like sweaty sitting on my couch, and I did an Instagram reel about giving tips on like what I'm looking for in applications to move through the recruiter screen, because I just thought it was interesting. I'm like going straight to someone's LinkedIn. I'm seeing where they worked and who their connections are, if they're posting, if they're commenting on people's posts. And then I'm going straight to the blurb where we ask like what's exciting about this opportunity. And I'm looking for why they're specifically excited to work for Jomboy Media. Like a lot of people will just do like sports in general.
Yeah.
What value, what skills they have that can add value to our organization. And then I want to know like, did you read the job description and like know what this is? Yeah. So please refer to something I said in the job description. And I've got a lot of really great candidates. I just thought, I was like, you know what? I'm not even pulling up their resumes at all.
Yeah.
Don't even click on it.
Right.
So
That's smaller scale, but I was doing the same for the content intern applications.
Yeah.
It's like, let me just pull up your LinkedIn. That's
right.
way
it's
easier.
Like, I'm not looking at your resume.
And it's also like you get the post too. Like if they for mine, it was like just finished my senior project or whatever.
Right.
You know? And it's just more up to date. I want to derail though for a half sec.
Yeah. What's up?
Because I don't think we talked about this with Grace, and I think that she would hate it. I don't know how much you frequent my LinkedIn, but my picture is my high school graduation picture.
Your high school, you got to update that, Matty.
I was going to ask, do you think I should update
You
that?
definitely should. We should do a photo shoot.
But it's kind of funny. No?
Yeah.
I guess like my thought, I've never like really used LinkedIn to get a job.
When you update it, I'll be like, Matty's looking for a new job.
Oh, yeah, maybe that's a bad sign. I was going to say, at this point, I've just like, I've never used LinkedIn to get like a job.
Yeah.
And so I was just left it like that as like a half of a joke.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, maybe you're right.
Yeah, no,
that's a bad
you're locked
thing.
in
Just
now.
keep it that way. All right, jumping back to the VP of sales though. Let's do what you aren't looking for, because you made that LinkedIn post first, and then maybe we'll do a little bit of a teaser as to what you are looking for. But you sent out the why you shouldn't apply first, which is off the cusp. Feels like so ironic. Like, hey, here's the application. Here's why you shouldn't apply.
I know. What did you think were you like, Courtney's freaking crazy when you read that?
A little.
Yeah.
but like you said, like you're getting applicants that are stronger than we've ever had before, and this is just a weeding out process.
Yeah, I just don't want to waste time. I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste your time. It was actually one of my best posts on LinkedIn.
Nice.
It has like 10 times the impressions that
Great.
one of my average posts get. But I said like, why, like basically I just feel like people are searching in the interview process of like, what's wrong with this company, what's wrong with this position, is this manager psycho, like I can't read through the lines here, and they're constantly trying to figure out like, why shouldn't I work here? So I'm just like, hey, I'm gonna like lay it all out for you right here, like this is why you shouldn't work here. The first being, we're fully in the office 5 days a week, so like that's just not some people's jams, and that's okay. Don't apply.
Yep.
Jimmy and I are siblings. I could see that freaking someone out.
I never thought of that one when I read that.
Really? I'm like, if that freaks you out, move on. Yeah. I'm a pretty direct person. I think there's a lot of good things about that, because you always know where you stand with me, but I could see how I could be intense and overbearing at times. So if that freaks you out, move on. And then I said accountability is my love language. Because I think one of my reviews from my direct reports, they were like, she is relentless about accountability. And I was like, I don't know if that's an insult or a compliment, but I'll take it.
Hey.
I like to keep everyone on track.
I'm surprised you didn't put, well, maybe this is just accountability.
Oh, now you're saying something else about me I should disclose.
Just arriving on time. That's your big thing.
I know, being late. Yeah.
Well, that's accountability, really.
Yeah, exactly. I don't like being late. And then I said, this is sports media. It's a startup. Sometimes you're going to have to go to production on a weekend, answer Slack on the weekends, entertain a client. It just is what it is. And if that's not for you, like, it's not going to work. So I think it was interesting because Jimmy was like, mentioned this post to me, and he was like, oh my God, like, did you get like a lot of backlash on LinkedIn and like negative comments? And I was like, no, actually, they were like, all like, this is so refreshing. This is so candid. And I just think it just shows the state of work has evolved in the past couple of years, because probably a couple of years ago, this is how I really felt, but I would be afraid to post something this on LinkedIn.
So let's talk about what you would have posted, maybe why somebody should apply.
Why someone should apply.
Yeah.
I think this is, I mean, I'm biased, but I love working here because it's just the most dedicated team. Everyone really cares and is so passionate about what you do. And you get to come in and just be part of a team that is trying to build something together. Like, that is so refreshing. You really can't find that in a lot of places. And you get to see the impact of your work instantly. The impact of like posting a video online, seeing the views, bringing a brand in, like everything's so tangible. And then the actual people messaging us every day saying how much they enjoy the content. Like Kyle just slacked me a DM he got on Twitter, just one-on-one, because he knows, like, I love that. I love when people just send us messages like, I had a bad day, but you got me through it. I'm like, that's why I come to work every day.
Yeah.
Because you're having an impact on like people's lives. I know we're not heart surgeons, but like, it's cool to have that. I didn't have that in my last job. And I think we're just at the forefront of the creator economy in sports. And like both of those things are so hot right now. So sky's the limit.
Oh yeah. Maybe this is narrow. I'll self-admit that ahead of time. But one of the things that excites me is and I was telling this to somebody on vacation or this weekend at a wedding, but just the cricket stuff. While it feels, maybe this is a little rude, while it feels somewhat irrelevant in the U.S. right now, I feel like the number of people outside of the U.S. that are committed to making sure the sport grows in the U.S. is way too many and way too strong with enough financial backing that it will eventually crack. And we're right there.
Oh, yeah. It's like ours for the taking. I mean, I know there's other content creators that are doing cricket content, but like I think we have a big opportunity. And I know you have this on too, the board meeting recap. That's actually a lot about what we talked about in last week's board meeting. I changed up kind of the format of the board meeting, and I sent all the slides in advance, and I asked them for questions beforehand. And then I had 2 topics of discussion. I was like, we're going to go through your questions quickly, and then we're just going to focus on these 2 discussion topics. And one was cricket. So we spent a lot of time talking about the opportunity to be the cricket content creators in the US and build around Jimmy's like natural passion for the sport and talent to introduce cricket to the US audience. And it was cool because the board was all really on board with that strategy, and everyone saw it as like a huge just white space for us to take over. So it was cool to just get, confirmation, and that other people are seeing the vision like Jimmy, Jake, and I are seeing it.
That's great. Yeah, I think I was somebody that would have said, no, I'm never watching that. Like, doesn't make sense to me, etc. Then obviously Jimmy comes in, influences the whole office, I think. And like, then there was me last summer, Aaron Jones, who's been in the warehouse, goes and almost beats Pakistan by himself, and I'm jumping off the couch.
Oh my God, I know.
Fully understanding
what's going on. I took a selfie with him when he was at the warehouse and sent it to my friends because we all watched together.
I remember
we talked about that on Morning. Yeah. And
that's
I was
funny.
like, star sighting Aaron Jones.
Seriously. And I feel like
it's cool how there's an opportunity to like rebrand cricket, because it could be seen like internationally, like the long I don't think they call it long form. I'm using like a content term on the traditional cricket game is long, and it's like conservative and like traditional, and the T20 is just fun and innovative and like refreshing, and like there's an opportunity to introduce cricket in that way to the US audience that doesn't have the history that the other countries do.
100%. Let's jump back up now. We have a Warehouse Games B2B event in a little less than a month, I think.
5 weeks, Matty. I think 5 weeks. June
That's
4th.
Good.
Wednesday, June 4th, we are inviting 12 brands to what I think the official term is the Warehouse Open. So they get to come in and experience the warehouse in real life And the reason we are doing this is because we've had a lot of success with brand sponsors coming into the warehouse games. We've had SeatGeek, DirecTV, Mountain Dew, DraftKings, and there's a big opportunity for more brands to come in the back half of the year. One of the hardest things about selling the warehouse games to a sponsor is you get someone that knows us, knows the warehouse, loves it, gets it, and they're like, oh my God, yes, I'm all in. This is like one of the most dedicated communities on the internet. Then you get brands that are like, never heard of it, and they're like, what are you talking about? And you're trying to, we have sizzle reels, but you're trying to like describe it in email or explain it, and we're just like, oh, like it's not doing it. Like they have to like see it for real life. So we decided to have this event. It's called the Warehouse Open. We're inviting 12 brands, and it's an exclusive VIP invite. We're knowing all the brands that are coming beforehand because we are staging what their integrated sponsorship like section is going to look like and how their brand is actually going to come to life during the game. But we're playing this whole blitzball game. We're playing a 2-inning game. I think it's baggage versus rippers, and we're going to make it interactive so the brand marketers can actually, jump in and experience what it's like to be a player in the warehouse.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's funny. We're gonna, I would say the average warehouse tournament probably has 3 or 4 advertisers on it right now. So I'm excited to see where all of these.
I know. Here. We were actually talking. We're like, can we get 8 sponsors in? We're like, hell yeah, we can.
Definitely,
it's just gonna be fun.
Yeah, exactly. The thing that I've wanted to see for a while, and I have no idea if it's logistically possible, but just take a T-Mobile, for example. I want the bat to be colored like T-Mobile pink or something magenta, like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or if it's, Mountain Dew is a green bat, whatever, using examples. But
yeah, I'm excited. We already have brands locked in, and then we're trying to get a few more locked in, but
cool.
It's going to be good.
It is. Speaking of good, you had a trip to Chicago this past weekend. Ending on a light note, how was that?
It was so fun. I went with 3 other girlfriends. I think one of the hardest parts of leadership is it's harder to have friends at work. And a lot of my social life used to come from work. And I was on like a team with salespeople, and I made a lot of friends during those times. And I've realized as you grow in your career, you just can't really prioritize friendships at work. It just makes it harder for you to do your job. So that's fine. It's just the trade-offs of being in the CEO seat and as a leader. So for me, it's actually been a big priority to prioritize my friendships outside of work because it's the healthy balance, right? So like it was cool that we all made it happen. Yeah. It was like a day and a half in Chicago. It was my friends that we spent our 20s together in New York City, and we had a very different trip than we would have 10 years ago, but it was a lot of just like hanging out, eating snacks, drinking wine, watching reality TV.
Nice. Good stuff. Good. Cool. Well, like I said, Jimmy is going to be on with Swilly next week. So leave any questions you have for either of those 2 people down below, and we'll make sure to answer those. Otherwise, tell Courtney how great of a job she did, or leave questions for her next time. It'll probably be, 4 weeks
and
from now.
I'm excited to see who's going to win $50 to our shop.
Seriously,
so
somebody better go claim it.
How quickly that is going to get claimed.
Yeah, imagine it's like a minute.
I know. Bye, everyone.
Bye.